Alrighty, hope you're all doing good. My name is Benjamin, owner of Forex Hermes. Today we are getting into more of these analysis type videos. I am so glad that I'm actually able to do this because it is a Sunday evening. I'm having a good time, and I'm just gonna get out this quick little analysis for y'all. Okay, so let's start with the Australian dollar, Canadian dollar. But before I actually go into that, if you want me to look at a specific currency pair or specific commodity, let me know. I will be posting a post with like a question type tag on my Instagram, which is Forex Hermes, by the way, and you'll be able to send through whatever commodity, whatever currency pair, even if it's a cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum. I can look at as well using my broker. So I'll definitely be up to looking at that. However, these are the currencies that I normally trade, and I normally like going through these. However, these aren't the only ones that I trade because, as I said in a previous video, or I actually haven't even uploaded that video, it's that I normally switch up the way I think about the charts every now and then, every like 3 to 5 weeks. I always switch it up. However, I stick like with no discrepancy to what I know, which is just reading price pretty much. All right, so let's get into this CAD. Here we are. Made this amazing move. I didn't catch this because it didn't break the way I wanted it to break. Right, so let me just zoom in some more for y'all to see, and let's see, can I add in a circle? I normally don't do these analysis with like shapes and whatnot. Like I just kind of have it in my mind, but this over here, just try. Okay, that's good enough. This right over here, it did not break this white line over here, which is like the line I put in, just looking at the fractals purely, right? It didn't break it the way I wanted it to break, right? However, it did go up and it did retrace, right? And it did reject that level. So I should have gone into it, but what time was this? This was at 11, and this was a Friday, so I don't trade on Fridays, by the way, so I wouldn't have gotten into this trade anyways. But look at this, it did a very good move. So if I did see this, if it did break, and I see that, this mouse is being a bit weird, but don't worry about that. So that's I'd say a 13 pip stop loss just to be safe, And then right now we are at about 51 floating profit, so that's a good 5% move. If you're risking 1% every single trade. If you're risking 2%, that's a good 10% move right there, right? Reason why I'm so happy about it is because that's the levels I work with, right? It's the 1% or the 2% if I'm feeling aggressive, right? But I hardly do use 2%. It's normally just 1% at this moment. But let's say, for instance, you get in right over here. I'm going to change the color of this because I want the stop losses to be the pink color. Well, you can't even see if it's pink over there. That's the weird part. So I'm just gonna change this maybe to red or something like that. It's the same. Let's make it green, right? So the green is our entry. Hopefully you can see that. Let me just drag my recording software to the side so I can see that. Yes, indeed you can. Awesome. Just move it back there. Cool. So the green is our entry, right? If we did take this retracement trade, but however, as I said, doing these trades on Friday is not my favorite thing to do. However, as you can see, this was pretty good. This is very, very good. Okay, so we got in, right? I know what I'm about to say. Scaling in, or not really scaling in, but adding on to your positions, right? So let's say, for instance, we want to add in another position over here, right? I would actually go for that because look at that. It came up, it came down, rejected once again. It even rejected our simple moving average right over here. Wait, let me just double check. Is that a simple moving average? Because I just have it over here. There's no specific reason why I have it, but I like looking at it. No, it's an exponential moving average. It's 21 exponential moving average. I just use it to kind of gauge the near-term momentum. However, any like moving average can't do that for you, honestly, like depending on how short or how long you make it, right? But I love the 21 moving average. So it rejects the 21 moving average as well. and we would have gone kicked in over there, right? So since it is an add-in on position, I would make this like a 15 pip stop loss, right? The reason being is because we don't exactly want to put it all the way down here. That's 22 pips. I'm not a person who risks more than 20 pips. Normally 15, that's my medium right over there. I've seen through all my journaling that 15 is my medium. So this is where we are at right now, right? We're gonna enter with that 15 pip stop loss. Price did want to come and touch this, but price probably didn't even like come down, right? This was probably made within the first few minutes, maybe 15 minutes, and then it just kind of powered through, right? So this would have been probably a risk-free entry all the way up, right? So we record about 27 pips with this one position, and then 47 pips with the other position, right? So I would say that since that is like a 5% move, that the next move, this next position, is probably about 2.5 or maybe 2% move. So all in all, we have 7% already logged in if we took this trade, right? It's always good to kind of look what happened, because you'll see where I'm going with this right now on the other pairs. So that could have happened, right? We could have gotten in, but we didn't, because why? I'm sticking to what I know best, which is stay consistent, just keep away from, you know, going into orders just willy-nilly, especially on Fridays, because Fridays anything can happen, right? I do see a problem over here, right? Is that I didn't actually take it over here. I'm seeing this as a green instead of a red candle that it is, right? So our stop loss would have actually been smaller. Yeah, it's 10 pips, literally 10 pips, right? And then we have a 15 pip stop loss over here. Didn't get hit. We're just moving up right now. We're just moving up. So in that case, we're up 6% with the first position and 2% with the other. That's 8. So if you risk 1%, you're up 8% at this moment. If you risked 2%, then you would be up 16%, right? Since that's an 8 percentage move, right? So my next level I'm looking at would probably have to be this one over here, right? However, I don't like how much of a big wick this was. Reason being is because normally when price rejects like this, price like it ranges within the wick, right? So I stay away from that. I don't really think I might get into this, especially since it's odd CAD. But let's go check the fundamentals for this week and see if Australian or the Canadian dollar is on the agenda. So we do have the Australian retail sales. We have that, right? So the forecast is to be negative 0.6 and the previous was 1.4, so probably going to be a negative result, which is not gonna favor us because we want the Australian dollar to get stronger. However, you know, we definitely are looking for either the AUD to get strong or the Canadian dollar to get weak, right? So let's go check for some more Canadian. Oh, we have the Canadian GDP that's coming out on Wednesday, 23rd December. That should help us because the GDP does look like it's going to be a negative result. However, you only know the result when the result happens. This is just to gauge what's going to happen. And I never use the fundamental forecast to make my decision. I just normally use it as a danger gauge, let's just call it that, right? Normally I don't even get into trades when there is news, right? But it's always just good to kind of see what could help you, right? You want to be super analytic with all you do, right? Because what could happen also, if I just zoom out a bit more, I'm just making sure that I'm not in the way of the chart. But what could also happen, as you can see this trend line is going up, is that the AUD could weaken or the Canadian dollar could strengthen and could push us lower. Because let's go to the 4 hourly, let's see what's up, let's see what's happening, right? 4 hourly, in the near term I haven't really seen anything happen in the 4 hourly. So let's see the daily. This is like pretty much a very major high that we're making over here. Check the weekly. Yeah, weekly is also kind of, yeah, very close to that level over there. You can't see it because my indicator is above it, or over it rather, should I say, but it's a bit extended, right? We need a lot of power to actually go through here, and with things being the way they are with the pandemic, I don't think we're going to be able to break it with a lot of momentum. So I'm also looking for a possible trade to the downside. So if we can come down and maybe break it over here, maybe even over here, that would make more sense if it breaks it right over here, right? Because you would be breaking a support, right? A near-term support or near-term low, right over there, right? I'm eyeing that position right over there, that little level over there. And what could possibly happen, since the market is bottoming out over here, is that we come and fetch that level over there, right? So that's around this area. I'm gonna make it like down there, but you can't really see that. So let me move my webcam. Let me move it on the recording software. There we go. Cool. So yeah, this level all the way down over there. Let's look at the difference. So that's 116 pip movement that I am looking for right now. That's actually perfectly pretty close, right? So obviously the market's gonna go down, retrace, down, retrace, down, retrace if we do break this, right? Because I don't feel like we have enough momentum to break it up. But if it does break, then you just get yourself prepared for the next move, right? That's all you can really do. Don't try and predict the future. It's just not going to work, right? So that's my views on this, right? Either we can continue up, right? But if we do, we need a lot of momentum, and if the momentum comes, it's going to help you a lot. However, if it does break down, we are looking at a pretty serious, downwards move. I mean, look at that. Even that's kind of a good place to look at, because we have this range over here. So if we're gonna try to break this range when we do come down, if we do break it, we go in lower. But if you stall and if you get pushed up, I definitely think you should take profits, but obviously you'll have your stop losses in place. All right, so that's my thoughts on AUD CAD. All right, I'm gonna keep my webcam in this area. So let's go over to the Australian Japanese yen, but let me just first trend line. There we go. Cool. I like resetting it to this because what I do is I have it like this, so I can see pretty much every single thing I'm looking at right now. So AUD CAD, that was that. Let's go to the AUD Japanese yen. As I said, I think it's the 23rd or the 22nd that we have news for the AUD. So let's see, 22nd. Yeah, 22nd. We do have the retail sales, but I don't like the current market conditions of the AUD JPY. A lot of spikes, a lot of wicks, and that's just not what I'm looking at. I don't like that. All right. But that might be because we are too far up. We are too far up. I think that is the reason why we are kind of just throwing out these spikes. So what I'm looking at then, since that is happening, is probably gonna be going down, probably, right? However, I'm gonna wait for this little range over here to get done, because I even tried, like you can see this position over here. Some of my positions are on the chart, some aren't, which is so weird, but anyways, I'm looking at this, right? Because it made a beautiful break, right? Normally what I do once it breaks, I just get into the position, put my stop loss above. It was like a 17 pip stop loss around there, and it was supposed to break, but it did not, right? And obviously also this very unnatural move up that also kind of gave me the clue that maybe this is an overextended market. However, it didn't go through. But remember, it was a 1 pip, not a 1 pip, but a 1% stop loss. And on these trades, I normally make between 5, to 15%, obviously depending. So look at this now, AUD NZD. So this pair, it's either you love this pair or you hate it. And I'm in a love-hate relationship with this pair, because all the Australian pairs are, in a weird space, right? But look at this, AUD NZD. It looks like it's gonna keep moving up. There is space to move up. but that would need the New Zealand dollar to weaken. But I don't think that's going to be possible. I don't think the New Zealand dollar is going to, weaken. So there's definitely some space to just keep going, right? Because look at this. Look at it in my perspective, right? So if I drew this line on the 4-hour chart, I don't normally take trades on the 4-hour chart. I'm just doing this for educational purposes. So that's over there. Would I put it over there? I should definitely give myself like a back tester of some sorts, but yeah, as you can see, not the prettiest. I could have done that. I could have done this as well, for converging type trade. I love it when the lines converge like this, like a triangle. I love those trades because they're high probability from what I've seen, right? So it breaks. We love that. We put our stop loss in. However, that's a big stop loss. 21 on an Australian pair. That's a lot, right? But let's look, right? Boom, boom, boom. We're at like 123. Oh wait, we are on the 4-hour chart, so it does make sense that the stop loss is big. So let's go to the 1 hour and let's track down where we made that. There we go. Cool. Right over here. Bring that down 15 pips. That's good. That's what I love, and then we would just ride it. We wouldn't have moved our stop loss. We wouldn't have gotten into any new trades because of the fact that we haven't made a high, and then we haven't made that low, so you couldn't get in. Because then what happens is the high gets broken and it just continues up. That's just pretty much what I've seen, right? Look at that fake out over there. This is why I use a lot of price action when I do look at this kind of stuff, but look at that, right? So it is moving upwards. So I'm looking for a break up. Actually, I'm more susceptible to taking a upwards trade or a buy than taking a sell, honestly. So let's see where that fractal is actually coming from, because it must be coming from somewhere, from this fractal right over here. Cool, I see now. Okay. So that's a very high fractal right over there. Normally these fractals aren't that far away from each other. That's a good 20 pip stop. Not a 20 pip stop, but a 20 pip difference from current price and that fractal. So I'm looking for that up. I'm looking for that buy. But that would, damn it. You see, this is the thing, right? And this is what happens as well when I'm talking to myself, when I'm forecasting, when I'm looking at these trades. I look at these possibilities, because if it does break up, it's gonna break up very well, but then that means the Australia needs to strengthen and then the New Zealand needs to weaken, so this pair right now is just a no man's land for me, so I'm gonna skip that. And here we come to good old USD. Let's look at the daily chart. Daily chart shows that there has been no high in a minute. Let's wait for the weekly to load. I normally don't go on weekly and like daily, so that's why they take forever to load. So let's look at these specific levels. Actually, you know what? Let me do this. Let me move this. These levels over there. And these levels over there. Awesome. So let's move back into the 1 hour frame, right? So let's see, where is that level that I was just looking at? That's a very far level. That's 179 pips. Let's make it 180, right? So with this, I'm expecting the retail sales to be a good result. However, it does forecast as a negative, right? So what I'm looking for at this moment right now is for the price to break, right? Once it comes to this level, one of two things are going to happen. Either it's going to reject, it's going to throw out a wick, and it's going to come back into this structure over here and then break downwards and fetch that level over here, which is down here, by the way. Or it's going to continue up to these levels that I put out right over here. So that's a very far target, I would call it. but it is possible. However, I've never seen a 500 pip move that I've been in, you know, within these currencies, especially now with the current market conditions. But let's look at this, right? If we get in on the next candle, that's a 5 pip stop loss, and we would ride it up for about 17 pips. That's like a 3% move. So that's pretty good, you know, 3% or 6% if you risk in 2% of your account. So definitely looking at this, but if there is a spike or a wick over there, I'm definitely confident enough to say that we are definitely looking to go and fetch this level down here. All right, so that's pretty much what I think about the AUD USD. All right, so let's go over to Euro AUD. Euro AUD, I have nothing to say about it, except that I'm waiting for better trend lines to form. When I see trend lines that look like this with awful angles, I just stay out of it, honestly. Oh yeah, and by the way, I use a trend line indicator that draws these trend lines for me the way I normally do it, which is using fractals, right? That's how I can get my trend line so accurate and actually get these nice moves, you know, because for humans, you know, there's definitely room for error, but once you have something that is calculated, you know, on the chart itself, and also, you know, a machine doing it for you, it's so good, you know. So let's look at Euro JPY, right? So Euro JPY has been playing around a lot, right? But if this break is true, if there is no reversal like candlestick over here, we'll be fetching this level over here. That's 70 pips. Well, that's a 1 to 2 risk reward ratio, and I don't like that. My risk to reward is normally anywhere from 1 as to 3 until even 1 as to 10, you know, and that's obviously made possible with also adding on positions, you know. So this move over here I'm not really keen about, so I'm looking for a break to the upside then, you know, break to the upside, maybe that much, you know, 15 pip stop loss. Let's try to get a 15 pip, there we go, 15 pip below the line, you know, below the trend line, and then fetch that level over there, and that's a good almost 10% right there. All right, so Euro JPY, not Euro JPY, but Euro GBP, I'm not really keen about it as well. I suggest you stay out of it. Let's just look at the 4 hour. Let's see what's happening over here. Yeah, no, 4 hour looks like it could potentially make a move to the upside, because what could happen is this candle, the next candle that forms, might reject this line, right? If it does reject the 21 exponential moving average, then we're fetching that upper level over there, right? But I would stay away from it at this point. And for some reason I'm opening up my Firefox. Let me just close that right now. Let me just close that. There we go. Cool. So let's go to the next currency pair, Euro JPY. All right. So if you do trade the trend line, if you don't trade the breakouts, this would actually have been a perfect opportunity for you to get in. So over here, you know, that's an 8 pip stop loss. So that's a beautiful move over there, and that would be you fetching about 52 pips. That's pretty good, but I can see now that the general trend or the general momentum is to the upside. However, we are trying to see if we can break that level over there. Let's go to the 1 hour. That's exactly where I thought it would be. So if it does break this level and break it very well, I will look to get into a buy trade, 15 pip stop loss, maybe even 16, honestly. With Euro JPY, I kinda use 20 pip stop losses sometimes because it moves so fast, you know, but sometimes, you know, especially now, it's like very rangy. It's not really going anywhere very fast, so we can get away with that. All right, but buy, definitely a buy on here. If not, it's probably gonna break this over here, but we have the hammer forming over here. We have some momentum to the upside. 4 hour shows that it has gone away from this level. It's taken out the recent high, not the recent high, that's the recent high over there, but this high it has taken out, which means there's momentum to the upside. However, can it be sustained? And this is an engulfing at the same time. All right. So I'm keen about that. I'm very, very keen about that, to see if we can move to the upside on that. But let's go to the USD CAD. Right, USD CAD I'm looking at for one reason and one reason only, is to see the general kind of mood of the market. Right, I've seen that when USD CAD kind of, you know, is uncertain, a lot of the other pairs that I trade are uncertain as well, you know. And you can see that from today's like analysis, you know. AUD CAD, I don't even know where it's gonna go. It might go up, it might not, we never know, right? Or JPY, I'm not really keen about it. Or NZD, not really keen about it as well. You know, AUD USD, probably the only one that I'm kinda happy about, right? But I'm also looking at it to fail and kind of prove me wrong with that level. I wanted to get to that level, prove me wrong by rejecting, making a wick, coming back down and breaking it so we can go lower and get more profit, right? But that's all dependent on what comes out for the retail sales, the GDP, as well as I think there's another one coming out, crude oil stocks. We need to look at that as well. Wait, no, that's next week, I think. Yeah, that's next week. Durable goods and crude oil, it's still there. Okay, cool. And the new home sales, that's all kind of dependent right now. Everything's dependent. But yeah, let's just see what happens over here. At the moment, I have nothing in particular that I'm looking at. I'm just preparing myself for anything that could happen, right? There could be a break to the downside, and we could go fetch this level over here where it made like a little, not really little, but like extremely big, you know, double bottom. So 15 pips to get about 65. Not bad at all. If it does break to the upside though, let's see what happens. Let's see the 4 hour actually. Ooh, 4 hours shows a whole different story. 4 hours shows that it tried going up, but the price said no. So I'm definitely not keen about that. So I'm looking for that break to the downside. And we'll see where price takes us. Using our stop loss, we just ride it. All right. So last but definitely not least, honestly one of my favorite pairs to trade, just because it has the USD, you know, which is honestly the currency, and then it has the safe haven currency, Japanese yen, right? So with this now, price is being squeezed so much, and I'm looking for a breakout right now. Whichever direction it goes into, I'm waiting for a breakout, you know, because downside 39 pips, not bad, you know. But if we look at the stop loss we'll be using, that's like 6 pip stop loss, right? So if you get in 30, it was 30, right? It was like 39. Let's make it 40 for good measure, right? If you are with a 5 pip stop loss with 40 pips to gain, that's times, I think, 8, right? That's times 8, right? That's 1 to 8 risk reward. Obviously you add on position, so that becomes way better, you know. However, oppositely speaking, if we get a break to the upside, we ride in it very far up, right? That's like 76, let's call it, 76 right there. Stop loss of 5 as well, you know. Like, the risk to reward is honestly insane with this pair. That's why I love this pair and just the way it moves, right? Let's look at the 4 hour. I don't normally look at the 4 hour, but it kind of gives me a good idea of what's about to happen, or what could happen. So as I'm looking at these charts, right, and I've been recording for like a good half an hour almost, 29 minutes and 10 seconds right now, I'm looking at the price and it does look like it's coming down more, right? But this could be a reversal at the same time, you know, because look at this. Is that a fractal? That is a fractal indeed, right? So what I'm looking for now is to see what will price do over here, right? What will price do over here? If price breaks this, then I'm expecting it to go down, right? Then I'm expecting it to really go down. But right now we in this weird moment where the fractals itself is kind of overlapping. So I'm looking for a break of this white trend line. These are white trend line fractals. Well, fractal trend lines, let me say that. And then we'll take the trade from there, right? But I'm gonna keep my eyes on the 4 hour. If the 4 hour shows good momentum to the upside, then we know we're going for that big one over there, right? So that's pretty much it for today's analysis. I'm gonna try to do this every single weekend, just to get you on that good education. I'll be uploading this as soon as I'm done recording. Luckily with this, I don't have to do a lot of editing. It's literally just start recording and do what I do best, which is just go through these charts, right? Now I want to apologize to anyone that is expecting me to be professional. This is not how I talk when this is exactly how I talk though when I analyze. It's like I'm talking to someone that I know, because the more you get to know the market, the more you understand that you can see humans in this market. You can see regret, you can see greed, you can see all these kind of things like hope, FOMO is so big. It used to be so big for me, but I grew out of that, and I grew out of that at a best time possible, because now I'm just looking for moving my stop loss to break even or above break even, obviously depending on the move. So quick little example for you if you want to know how to move your stop losses to break even. Let's go to something that moves better. USD/JPY, my favorite pair. All right, sometimes I love it, sometimes I hate it, but for the most part it's amazing. So let me draw in these trend lines real quick. It is converging. It gives me even a better signal. So I love that, right? So we break it with a lot of momentum. That's 18, 16. That's a good amount, right? We do come back. We do close inside of it, right? But the thing with me is I'm very strict. I either let my stop loss be hit in the beginning, or I get out once I see warning signs above or below the trend line, right? So look at this. This is what I'm talking about. So if I got a reversal candlestick, right? Say for instance we're on an uptrend, or no, a downtrend. Let's say downtrend because you are on a downtrend. So if I got a reversal, like 2 candles away from the line, away from my entry, then I'll immediately just move my stop loss to break even and then see what happens next, because it might hit it, it might not, we never know, right? So over here I would have probably done that, right? But look at that, we are probably gonna go for 15, but just for this example, let's actually put it above there. That's 7 pips, right? For the most part I use 15 because it's just better, and I know the lot size already for the 15 pips. So that's pretty much where we at, right? Let's make it 7, let's make it 8 just to be safe, right? 8, close above. Probably would have gotten nervous, but the market usually shakes off the weak and then continues with the strong. That's just the way of life, honestly. So boom, comes back, comes down, right? Now, since it is coming down, we wait for another pullback. It pulls back, we mark up this level over here, put our alert there as well. I love these alerts, they're just the best. Once it breaks, we move our stop loss from there, from an 8 pip to over there. So now we are 10 pips in profit with our stop loss. We don't trade with take profit because you don't want to limit how much profit you can actually make in this market. And then boom, right over there, right? We wait for that to be broken, and then we add in a trade, or we move our stop loss, right? So entry over here, right? Oh, right. I don't know why I was using this level. But yes, so entry is over here, moved it over here, so we are break even at this point, right? If we did move it, sorry about that. Sometimes my mind just kind of sees the red as green and the green as red, but I was talking about the green candle, so I do understand why I did that. So yeah, 20 pip stop loss, right? Now we are break even almost. Boom, comes back up, breaks it, now we are very much safe. And then we'd put that order in over there, and then from there move our stop loss in over there, and then over here, there we go. So that's about 44 pips, right, of profit that you have secured. Now you can go against your how can I say, your way of trading, right? Or you can just stick to what you know and pretty much just take that 44, or how much was it? 40, right? 41 pips. Whereas if you did take it when you thought, you know, that you might be taken out, that would be about 70, right? So 40, 70, that's a big difference between it. However, if you start using the discrepancy and giving yourself leeway, it's gonna fail. You know, your actual trading is gonna fail on you, because you don't want any discrepancies, you know. So yeah, with this, definitely looking for break to the upside or downside. Anything can happen, but I'm gonna look at it. Normally Mondays I take my trades very how can I say, like sparingly, right? I don't just like going into any trade randomly. I make sure that all my confluence measures are met, like, because sometimes I get into trades, like I can show you an example of where all my confluence measures were not met. It would actually be this, all right? So that would be up here, right? The one that we just marked up. So this isn't converging, firstly. I mean, it is converging if you use this, but this software will take the trend line that has the most fractals. So there's 3 versus 2, obviously 3 wins. All right, so this wasn't converging, right? But I would have seen and probably seen the conversion, but let's ignore that. Let's ignore that completely, right? So that hasn't been met, right? When did this happen? This happened well into the US session, right? So my time zone is GMT +2. This should be very deep into the US session. I think the London session would have already closed down at this point. So it's a bit, you know, rocky, because the USD for the most part can't carry itself. You know, you always need like a catalyst. That's why I paired up with, you know, Australian dollar, because even though it is closed, it does move a lot. And then I also have the USD CAD. Even though they're from like the same kind of continent, CAD also shows some volatility sometimes, so that kind of carries the US dollar. But it is a very stable, you know, currency. But that's pretty much all I have for you today. It is 38 minutes right now, and I'm so happy about that. All right, so if you want me to look at any other currency pairs, don't put it in the description, or in the comments rather. Sorry about that. I haven't been on YouTube in a while. Don't do that. I will not look at it. Just go to my Instagram, Forex Hermes, and as easy as that. I will look at it once I put out the question or the prompt for you to give it. All right. It's just easier for me to work. I work very organized, so that's how I organize everything. But thank you once again for watching this video. I really do hope you have an amazing trading week, and I am ready to make some percentages, okay? So keep learning, keep researching. Don't take my word for it. Read for yourself. Reading is very important. Reading is almost, if not more important than making money in the Forex industry, you know? So I really do appreciate you. Remember, cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, I can look at everything else. However, I can't. I'll be having to use TradingView, and I'm not used to TradingView. However, I do have the app though. So if there is a lot of demand for that, I will do it. However, I will still be posting those leaks. Lately, there hasn't been like a lot of leaks coming out, or a lot of information that isn't, you know, well known to the public. However, as soon as I get some more information, I will be posting it over there. This video will be automatically sent out as an announcement into the announcement channel, so just look out for that. If you are on the Discord, if you haven't joined my Discord, join it, because a lot of the stuff that you don't see is being posted over there. All right, and this will remain free forever. All right, so yeah, we do appreciate you once again. Thank you so much for watching this video, and yeah, take notes. But thank you so much. It's been your boy Benjamin from Forex Hermes. Enjoy your day.